Hello there, you fine folk. This is Chris from TechSpert, and this is the Amazon Fire HD 10 tablet, fresh and new for the tail end of 2019. It'll cost you 150 quid, making it the most premium Amazon tablet available right now as we head into 2020. It's twice the price of the more compact Fire HD 8. But of course, 150 quid is still pretty bloody good as far as tablets go. It's certainly a lot easier to swallow than the likes of the Apple iPad costs. And of course, you do get upgrades beyond just the bigger display as well. So let's get it all unboxed. We'll take a full tour of the hardware and the software, show you exactly what to expect. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers. So first up, nice and simple, let's see what you actually get in the box. So you get one Fire HD 10 tablet, naturally. You get one charging cable. Hola, a bit of quick start guide action, just shows you exactly what all the various bits of the hardware does. Things to try as well. This will all be about Alexa, the voice assistant, who of course comes pre-installed on the Fire HD 10. And you do thankfully get a 3-pin plug stuck away in there as well, so you can plug your Fire HD 10 in at the wall. You don't need to provide your own. And there you have it. That's everything in the box. Nice and easy. Oh, let's actually check out the tablet. Now, as with all previous Fire HD tablets as well, you can expect a budget-friendly design. And what I mean is, don't expect any premium elements like metal chassis or anything like that. It's a plastic body, nice and plain and simple. That said, the construction is nice and sturdy. It's definitely a solid plastic shell, as you can see, curving around the edges there and just meeting with that front panel. I can just about wrap my hands around the back of this thing to hold it with one mitt. It's got quite a heft to it though, at 500 grams, so if you're going to be handing the Fire HD 10 to a small nipper, they'll probably want to rest it in their lap or on a table or something like that. Quite a chunky monkey as well, as you can see there, almost 10 millimeters thick. And you can pick Amazon's tablet up in 3 different colors, black, blue or red. This is obviously the blue version. A nice sort of subtle shade. The red one's a bit more vibrant and in your face. And if you want something that's not going to show up scuffs or marks or spit or gob or anything like that particularly easily, then black's probably the one to go for. So up top here is where all the action happens. Basically, you got your power button, of course. You've got a volume rocker over the side. You've got a 3.5mm headphone jack, so you can get wired in, but you do get full Bluetooth support if you want to go wireless. And you've finally got a Type-C USB connection for charging up. None of that micro USB gubbins, hooray! And then just around the side is a dinky little slot which you can use to shove in a micro SD memory card of up to 512 gigs in size to boost the 32 gigs of onboard storage. Nice and simple. And then you just cover that up. That just helps to keep it in place and protect it. So we're just gonna get the Fire HD 10 all set up now. Basically just a case of connecting to your Wi-Fi, signing in with your Amazon account, and Bob's your uncle. Alrighty, so I've set up my Amazon account here on the Fire HD 10, and now we're into the Fire OS user interface, which basically changes up the complete look and feel of the thing. It looks completely different from any other Android phone or tablet. It's basically organized according to Amazon's own content, so it's really built around an Amazon Prime subscriber. So starting with the main desktop, what you get is fast access to all of the apps that you've downloaded and installed. You don't have access to the Google Play App Store. What you need to download your apps through is via Amazon's own App Store instead. Thankfully, it's one of the better maintained ones. You've got all kinds of stuff on here. You have to look really hard to find a gap. So you've got all your media streaming stuff, the likes of Netflix, iPlayer, Disney Life, stuff like that. It's good to see that Amazon is, of course, fully supporting all of its rival services. And as you can see there, most of them have got good ratings. They're generally quite well maintained. You've got tons and tons of games, especially kids games, so it's very good for entertaining the nippers. And plenty of free stuff to find on there as well, apps and games if you are a bit of a skinflint, hooray. As you can see up at the top, the rest of the UI is organized via various categories, all to do with the type of content you consume. And so obviously you've got a books section where you'll find all of your downloaded Kindle books from Amazon's Kindle store, and also anything else that you actually directly download onto the tablet. And then you've got your video, which is of course fast access to your Prime Video and any other video that you might have bought via Amazon's own services. And then of course got all the games and apps that you've downloaded. You've got the actual Amazon store right there if you want to buy a new whatever that is. I'm not really sure what most of this stuff is, to be honest, but there you go. And then of course Amazon Music, a bit of Audible if you want to listen to your audiobooks, and then Newsstand, which is various magazines and stuff which you can buy again via Amazon. So again, if you use a lot of Amazon services and products, then the Fire HD 10, you're going to get on pretty well with it. If you don't, then you might want to look elsewhere. If you dive on into the settings as well, the Fire HD 10 comes with a lot of very useful features indeed, especially for families. So as you can see here, you've got a profiles and family library section. If you dive into that, you can set up profiles for each of your family members, including the Kiddywinks, and they've got their own separate little UI which has just got their content. You can restrict their app access. Dive into the parental controls, you've got even more controls over here as well, where you can actually set limits on the amount of time they can spend on the tablets, things like that. So it's really, really good to make sure they're not abusing it, watching YouTube at 4 a.m, stuff like that. Now, I'd say if you're going to be watching a lot of video, playing a lot of games, things like that on this tablet, then you might want to upgrade to this bigger model, because not only is it a more spacious 10-inch display, but it's also proper full HD as well, 1920 by 1200, compared with the basic HD on the Fire HD 8. So that is one of the major advantages here. Nice, crisp, good looking visuals. So let's just check out the quality of those visuals with a bit of Paddington 2, why not? So it's an IPS panel, you don't get a full-on AMOLED, so obviously there's no HDR support or anything like that, as you would kind of expect from a budget tablet. The colours sort of seem alright, they're not exactly super vivid, punchy in your face, but neither do they look particularly dull or lifeless. Again, for a budget tablet, it looks like it'll absolutely do the job, and that resolution is keeping everything nice and sharp. Of course, one of the only problems if watching a movie is the fact that obviously it's quite a square aspect ratio, as you get these big, thick letterbox borders top and bottom. Of course, if you do want a full view experience on the likes of Prime Video, you can go to the zoom option here in the settings, and that will just basically crop in, so you will lose quite a bit of information down the sides, but at least it's a bit more, as you can see there, of a full-on viewing experience. Just bump up the old brightness to maximum. Again, it's not super bright, but hopefully you should still be able to see it all right in a sort of sunny day if your kids are watching it outside, something like that. And the viewing angles seem absolutely fine as well, not getting any hideous distortion or anything, as we're starting to tilt that away from our line of view. And if we drop down below, you'll see you've got dual speakers down here as well, so you do get a sort of stereo speaker output. So let's just bump up the old volume.
Or is it just a brush?
Quick, Jim Barber!
Oh, I'm not the barber. I just tidy up.
So pretty powerful volume, as you can see there, so you should be able to still hear what's going on, even a fairly noisy environment. If your kids have got it in the back of the car, you want to not set it to that maximum volume, because that'll probably annoy the heck out of you by the end of a long journey. Now, one area where these HD 8 and 10 tablets tend to be a little bit limited is the performance. You've got a MediaTek chipset in here. It's an octa-core compared with the older quad-core chipset, but still only backed by 2 gigs of RAM, which is pretty meager when you're dealing with a modern day tablet. So far, touch wood, the HD 10 seems pretty smooth. Of course, you're going to do a bit of gaming on it. I'd say stick to the more basic titles like Thomas and Friends Minis and a bit of Zynga Poker. Probably not going to get away with much more, but it should be fine for basic stuff like reading books, browsing the web, stuff like that. And as I mentioned before, you get 32 gigabytes of storage space by default. As you can see there, about 25 gigs of that is free for your available content. And of course, you can expand up to another ½ terabyte using the microSD memory card. As for the battery, Amazon reckons you get about 12 hours of mixed use per charge. So that's slightly up on the older Fire HD 10 tablet, which was around sort of 10 hours of mixed use. I'd say that's generally fairly generous. If you're going to be just streaming nothing but video, you can expect to knock at least a couple of hours off that, but you do at least have lower power modes than the rest to enable if you're starting to struggle a bit when you're miles away from the nearest plug socket. You can also use the Amazon Fire HD 10 tablet for a bit of Skype session or some form of video chat. You've got 2 megapixel front-facing camera there. As you can see from the playback there, it's kind of grainy and a bit papped, to be perfectly honest, but just going to be doing a simple bit of video chatting with the parentals or whatever, it'll do the job. You can also take photos and shoot up to 720p video, and you do also have a rear-facing camera as well. Again, 2 megapixel, pretty basic stuff, so I'd use them sparingly, to be honest. And then the last feature here on the Fire HD 10 that you get on all of the modern Amazon tablets is, of course, built-in Alexa Assistant support. And as soon as you say that buzzword, apologies if you've got any earword devices in your own home, and it's now listening into me jabbering on. But yeah, that's all you need to do. As you can see, just get that little blue line at the bottom that just shows that she is listening, and then you can ask her anything you want. So I'll try and censor it out as much as possible in the editing. Play the next episode of Mr. Robot.
Here's Mr. Robot.
And then she'll find the content for you. You don't even need to necessarily specify the service. She's quite smart these days, so she'll be able to find exactly what you need on the internet. And then, as you see, it's taking a little while, but we're getting there, hopefully. It's dual band Wi-Fi, by the way, so it'll work on 2.4 and 5 gigahertz bands, so no worries about what your personal preference is. Okay, this is really taking quite some time. Oh, video unavailable, great. Just trying again, see if we have any luck the second time around. And there we go, good bit of Mr. Robot action. Phew. Okay, I'll stop it there in case spoiler alerts and all of that kind of shenanigans. So yeah, so as you can see, you do get full Alexa support. It's not the most useful thing on a tablet. I definitely find so much more useful on a smart speaker, where you can ask it to set timers and do all that kind of stuff. But if you are going to have the Fire HD 10, for instance, sat on a little stand in the kitchen or something like that, it could be really useful for pulling up recipes, web browsers, just playing music, things like that, whatever you fancy. Of course, got full Bluetooth support, so you can hook it up to a dedicated Bluetooth speaker. And there you have it. That is the Amazon Fire HD 10 tablet, available right now for the tail end of 2019 as we head into 2020. £150. Some pretty smart tech for a reasonable budget price. Obviously, it's not going to set the world on fire or anything like that. And if you don't use Amazon's own services, then you're going to be looking at a lot of content that you can't access, basically. So what do you reckon? Definitely let us know in the comments down below. If you've got a Fire HD tablet, what are your thoughts on it? Give us any little tips and tricks or anything that I might have missed off in this tour. And please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. Cheers everyone, love you!